it off my computer, but the camera on my computer is not bad, and it looked like I was filming an episode of The Blair Witch. Everything was dark and gloomy, so I just switched to my
your
iPhone, which is
your
better.
iPhone, your usual. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me just wait for a little bit more viewers to come in.
Okay.
Okay.
No problem.
Let me see. Grace is here. ใครเข้ามาแล้ว Oh, sorry. I'm using Thai
Yeah.
again.
Go for it.
So if you come in, say hi. It's going to be our demo, our trial episode of maybe trying out podcasts together. So if you just come in, let me just tell you how I get to know Kun Chris. It was one day I was just sliding through TikTok, and then I saw Kun Chris was living. He was doing live, and I don't remember what you were talking about, but I was the one. I'm not sure if you remember, but I was the one when you talked about the hair growing.
Oh, the hair transplant.
The hair transplant.
Yeah.
You said that there were no pain at all, and
No.
and you said it was great. So I was the one. My channel is called The Future Class. So I
Right.
asked you what's the name of the clinic, and you told me. So I was that one. Anyway, so
Excellent.
that's how I met Kun Chris, and then I contacted him and see if he wants to try and do like an English language podcast episode, because I've always wanted to do this, but my
Yeah.
husband doesn't like to be on camera, so I'm looking for someone who can be in front of the camera, and you said you have been in front of the camera.
I have. It's been a while, and I'm very new to live streaming. I think I've done it like 4 or 5 weeks in a row, but I'm very new. But I
Mm-hmm.
do have TV experience based on my old career.
Yeah, TV experience, as in getting on CNN.
CNN, Access Hollywood, what else? Fox Live. I used to help promote the toys my company used to manufacture. So they would send me to like go to like either the news studios or talk shows, and display it and show the
Talking
product.
about this doll,
That's correct. Talking about the latest and greatest toys. So it
which
was fun.
is which is about 10 years ago. That was the biggest toy in the world, and that was Furby.
Yes. Well, I worked on the original Furby, so I'm going to show my age here. It was about 22 years ago, maybe
Was
25
it
years ago.
22 years?
No, it came
Was it
out in
that
90
long?
it came out in 1998. It was a long time ago.
I sort of remember what it looks like. It's like a
It looks
half
like a
of.
bird, and looks like a almost like a gremlin.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
like Gremlin. But what
Yeah.
was the fuss about it? Like, what was the selling point that it was so big at the time?
Oh, it was ahead of its time. I remember I didn't I wish I would have invented it. I didn't invent the product. I just helped the development. I remember I was in the initial conference room with like 12 other
Mm-hmm.
people when the inventor came in and showed it. He just showed it as a videotape, and he was faking everything with puppeteers and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
even if watching a terrible videotape of it, I'm like, if we can do half the things that he wanted to do, it's a home run. It had so much technology packed in for such a low price point. I mean, it was a fully animatronic, like 3D
I've
pet.
never heard of that, but it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Animatronic.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was 3 to 5 years ahead of any other toy that was on the market. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Wow. Yeah. So it was huge at the time.
We
For a
sold
lot of
40
you,
million.
40
40
million
million.
of them
Yeah.
around the
Yeah.
world.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. It
wow.
was
Yeah.
insane.
So, for those of you who just came in, I'm talking to Chris, and Chris has been living in Thailand for 5 years.
6 years next
Oh,
month.
sorry, 6 years next month, and we're going to try and do a podcast about Thailand. One from a native Thai and one from a non-native Thai who just moved
Right.
here 5 years ago. And our topic today is: was Apple ad that bad? All right.
Yes.
So the thing is, I when we had the last chat, when
Yep.
we first actually had a meeting, I mentioned this topic to Queen Chris, and I was like, as a Thai, as a native Thai who does not live in Sukhumvit, who does not live surrounded by all the high technology, all beautiful, surroundings.
Right.
I watched that ad and I think, wow, they captured the essence of Thailand quite well. I thought that's what I thought. And I thought,
Right.
wow, they're really selling our factories. Because towards the end, that ad was like, Thailand can do double volume, can come up with a prototype within minutes, and everything was fantastic. They went home successfully. That's what I was thinking.
Right.
And then I went and someone sent me the link to a video clip of Kun David saying that he got really upset about how they portray Thailand as something's very backward, as something that's not what it is today. So I was like, I didn't understand why he would be
Right.
so upset. But then I talked to you.
Yeah.
So can you tell us why it could upset a non-Thai who lives in Thailand?
Sure. Well, first of all, I tried to rewatch the 10-minute commercial
Yeah.
just to get because I only watched it like once or twice, and it was a couple of weeks ago. I think Apple pulled it. I think it's gone.
Yeah,
I think
it's
it's
gone.
yeah.
They
I did
have
not
pulled
know
it.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, they
Poor
have.
Apple. Um, so what bothered me about it, the two things bothered me about it. The biggest thing is I have to see it from both sides. From the
Mm,
American side, because it focuses on three Americans in product development. And I've spent a
right.
career in product development. So I got to see
Mm,
that angle and then how they portray Thailand from my eyes, and it's just completely backwards. But the thing that bugs me so much is I get a lot of negative and confusing comments from my followers and just people that have never been to Thailand that probably don't even have a
mm,
passport and think that's what Thailand is. Oh, it's
mm.
it's third world. There's elephants running around instead of a BTS train, and they think that I live in Thailand because I couldn't make it in America. And they think of
Ah,
like, oh, this is my way of escaping uh and just trying to run away from my problems.
okay.
And it's not like, no, my problems were in America. um,
Uh-huh.
and I was just done. And Thailand is so far advanced, I feel, in so many ways than America. Yesterday, I just paid my bills, my electric and my water bill, with a QR code. I can't
Yeah.
do that in in the US,
Uh-huh.
uh, which
Mm-hmm.
I think is amazing. So I think it just puts a bad taste in the mouth that anybody that doesn't know Thailand, that's a foreigner, American or anybody else, that they think,
Mm.
oh, that's really what Thailand is, and it's not in so many ways, and it makes it almost people that have just a negative light that are not well traveled,
Yeah.
that are not don't even are have any interest in other cultures of the world. They just feel like,
Mm.
oh, see, that's why I'll never need to go there because that's what it's like. It's old, it's run down, you can't figure anything out. And I just think I understand what they were trying to do. They were trying to make things funny and humor and satire and come up with problems that need to be solved by using their Apple products. And there's just
Yeah.
a million different ways they could have done it. And I just think it fell flat and it was just off mark on everything that I believe Thailand is now and has to offer.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Okay. So from what I'm hearing, it's almost like an experience of an expat in Thailand, really getting comments about, oh, you're going to this third world country and you just, you can't make it in the first world country. So you go
Right.
and make it in third world country. You go and
Right.
live in this, underdeveloped place. So
Yeah.
that's what you've been getting, right?
That, and I'm
But
taking advantage of the people. I'm taking advantage of poor people. I'm just flashing around my U.S. currency to be.
flashing around your dollars.
Oh, it's crazy. I get some very strange comments. I don't know if you're. I'm still relatively new to social media,
Yeah.
especially TikTok. So, and I try to be as positive as and uplifting, and is I'm very vanilla on my content. I'm very positive, and I get really weird comments. I get very
Like
very
what? Like
interesting.
what? Share with us.
I get a lot of comments that everything I do is a lie. I nothing I say is true. I make stuff up. I'm running away from my problems. I have a second family back in America. um,
Okay.
just stuff like that. I get threats. I've gotten threats. They've said horrible, mean things about my Thai girlfriend. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and that's part of the reason why I don't. I made a video about this. I don't even mention my girlfriend's name. I just refer to
Mm.
her as my Thai girlfriend, and people have said that's really
No, she's
disrespectful.
never on your video, has she?
She's every, but I'd say about once every 10
Okay.
videos I put
Okay.
her in. She's a great sport. She's amazing. She's
Mm.
an amazing sport. She lets me put her on, and sometimes I poke fun at her, and
Yeah.
she's very good about it. But I
Mm-hmm.
don't make her the main focus because there's a lot of negativity. So
There is.
I never mention her name because she's a nurse at a public
Mm.
hospital,
Yeah.
so I have to worry about her safety. And I
Mm.
made a video of like I only refer to her as my Thai girlfriend because I'm doing it for protection because
Mm.
the internet is kind of wild from that
Mm-hmm.
standpoint. You
Yeah.
have to be
Yeah.
careful.
I totally understand. I at one point in my YouTubing career,
Yeah.
which basically has ended. But I put my husband on it because I knew it gets engagement, right? My fans love seeing me and my husband's, interacting. But after a while, I can't do it. I cannot do it. It's so unnatural. It's
Yes.
so weird to me. So I stopped doing that, like having my
Sure.
husband's on camera.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah,
So
it's tough. It's really, really
mm,
tough. People feel like if they because they can comment that they can say whatever they like. That's
right.
unfortunate. I spend most of my time now policing my comments more than
Hmm.
responding and trying to help people. Because my channel is really about trying to let people understand how amazing Thailand is. You should come here for a holiday. If you're if you want a fresh start and you're thinking about moving to a different country, I believe
Mm,
Thailand is top tier. I think top three, top five places I believe in the world to
mm-hmm,
start a life here. And
mm,
I have to spend more time, either blocking or deleting,
mm.
or just
You have to
correcting
keep your
people.
sanity. You have to clean your
It's tough.
house.
It's really tough. Even it's
Yeah.
like even sometimes when they don't do it on purpose. Like I made a video about dual citizenship, and someone
Mm,
said, "Well, Thailand doesn't allow dual citizenship, so you would have to give up your U.S. passport and citizenship." I'm like, no, that's not true.
mm.
So I have this. I spend a lot of time just being the police officer of
Yeah.
of my social
Of,
media.
of your own channels. Right. So okay, let's get back there
Yeah.
where there's a comment here. We have a comment here. Let me just share with you. JJ said, for me, it was the color grading still.
Yeah.
The backlash was kind of insane, JJ said. Sarayut said, many people who got upset about this Apple ad didn't watch the whole video. Chris said, as a
Yeah.
Thai, I didn't get upset. For me, they were just making a content. Oh, hate. Oh my God, my dog opened the door on his own. Um, and and Adam said maybe it's the wall of different culture. We have different
Mm,
kind of sense of humor. But
mm,
now everyone that I've talked to, Chris, I understand a little bit better because I was just like you. I was curious why people can get upset from this ad. And then
sure.
I talked to Chris, and now as he's been telling us that he's been getting all these comments about you going to third world country, can't make it in the first world,
Right.
splashing your dollars, making money out of these people, all of that. And imagine you getting all of that.
Right.
And then within your heart that in some aspects Thailand is more advanced. For example, like paying with QR
Right.
code and things.
Right.
So you have that in your heart always that Thailand is better
Yes.
and better than what you think it is. And then here come this ad portraying with whatever people are saying, grading the color, making it look backwards or whatever people are saying, making it difficult just to travel around. Kind of triggered,
Yes.
kind
Yes, it
of
did.
triggered all of
Yeah.
those comments that has been, already went through the system. I mean,
Right.
some people say, I look at it, but I don't think about it. I don't believe it because I feel like once you see it, it gets into your system. And it's,
Hmm.
if you don't really process it, it's going to be there. And when something happens, it's going to trigger you. And then you get upset. Why are they portraying Thailand like that? It's not
Sure.
like that. And
Well,
then
how did you hear about it? Did somebody tell it to you? Or you just found out naturally from the
the
video?
ad, the Apple ad,
Yeah. Yeah.
it was not in my radar whatsoever. I don't even know this ad exists until the whole drama about this Apple ad. Yeah,
Sure. Okay.
until the drama, I didn't know it exists.
Right.
So yeah, so now I totally understand why a non-Thai who's always getting those kind of comments would get upset seeing that.
Yes. Yes.
So
Exactly.
thank you for making me more empathetic.
Oh, sure. Sure. I get it too. I mean, if someone made a big company made fun of America,
Yeah.
I would probably be like, I don't think I would get offended too much unless they like did something very personal. But I just think it was just so below the belt in so many
Mm-hmm.
ways. They didn't shine a single spotlight on
Mm-hmm.
Thailand, and that's the
Mm-hmm.
part that really got to me.
I see. I got it. I now get it from your perspective. Yeah. Talking about perspective, we're
Yeah,
thinking of talking about perspective of Thailand in terms of a local and in terms of someone who just moved in 6 years ago.
yeah,
Can I have 5 seconds running to close my door and then I come
yeah.
back and play?
Please, I think your dog wants to be in the
Billy,
chat. Huh?
why you open the door now? Did you run after me? Billy, Mama will yok ba? Come in here. Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Okay, now what I want to know is what was Thailand before you first came to Thailand?
Okay. Before I even visited, what were my thoughts of it?
Before you even visited Thailand, what was the image of Thailand for you?
Oh, just amazing beaches. Because I would
Mhm.
see the footage of the beaches and just the different islands and stuff like that. I would see that, and I'd be like, that doesn't look real. It looks like a screensaver. And and people are like, no, that's what it really looks like. I'm like, no, I don't believe it. I don't
Yeah,
believe it. That was absolutely my very first image. It was just the amazing beaches that you guys have. That was the very first thing that always
okay.
came to my mind.
All right. So what was it? That was before, right? What was it
Yeah.
like the first time you came to Thailand and when was it?
So the first time I came was, I think it was 2012. So
2012.
yeah,
Okay.
so it was about 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And I used to go to China all the time for manufacturing. So I've
Mm.
been going to Southeast Asia for about 25 years. And so when I finished work in China, it'd be like, well, I'm already on this side of the planet. It'd be easy for me to go visit to other countries. So I've been to Japan a bunch of times, Vietnam, and so forth. So I thought I'll try Thailand, and I did zero research, and it made me regret not doing any research. So I came in July, and I went to Phuket,
Yeah.
and it rained every single day.
Mm.
Uh, it was the very first time I ever did an Airbnb, and I
Yeah.
did no research. So my Airbnb
12
was
years ago, that was quite new, wasn't it?
it was so brand new. I'm like,
Yeah.
what am I doing? What am I
Mm.
doing? And then I picked an Airbnb that was not close to the beaches or any of the tourist areas.
Okay.
And then it was also before Uber and Grab. So
Mm-hmm.
it was incredibly difficult to go anywhere because one, it was raining. It rained every day, and it was difficult to even get a taxi. So I spent 2.5 weeks just kind of like hanging out in someone else's condo because it's an Airbnb, not doing much. So
Yeah.
I did not enjoy my very first trip to Thailand. I'm like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
this was terrible. But I blamed 90% of it on me. I did poor planning. I didn't do any real research. It wasn't until I came back in 2015 or 2016 when I came to Bangkok and I'm like, this
Mm-hmm.
is amazing. This is absolutely
Yeah.
amazing. I need to figure out what I need to do to live here full time.
Ah, okay. So what's I don't know what's Thailand for you today? I'm sorry, my dog
It's
is
okay. It's
yeah.
okay.
What's Thailand for you today now? Now, do you feel like a Thai? Do you feel like a local now after 5 years?
No. I feel I'm definitely not Thai because I don't speak Thai, and that's my own
Mm-hmm.
fault because I think the language is still incredibly difficult, and I I'm not getting forced enough to use it. I
Mm-hmm.
have Thai friends. My Thai girlfriend doesn't like pressure me to learn Thai, so I
Mm-hmm.
don't feel like a local. But in a lot of cases, I have a, a good routine. So a lot
Mm-hmm.
of Thais that I interact with almost on a daily basis make me feel incredibly welcome. That they make me
Mm.
feel like I am absolutely a part of the community. I always make the joke that I've been here 6 years, but I haven't ventured past Tonglor. I've always lived in the Tonglor area. I've lived in
That's
four
why
different.
you don't need to speak Thai. When you're in that
You're
area,
probably right.
you
You're probably
don't
right.
need to speak Thai.
I know. So I've had
Yeah.
four different condos in 6 years, but I've always stayed in Tonglor. So I always make the joke that I'm the mayor of Soy 38 because that's really the area that I've always been
Do
living in
you
that
have
area.
you tried mango sticky rice?
Oh, of
Newari.
course. Of
Of course,
course.
that's so
Yes.
good.
But
Probably
I
the best
haven't.
mango sticky rice
I
around,
know. I know. You're making me hungry because I haven't had Thai food, real Thai food, in 8 months. 8 months. 7 months.
including like so far. Living in
Well,
Thailand, haven't had Thai food for eight
I haven't
months.
had Thai food for the last 7 months because
Why?
I'm on this crazy diet. I'm on the carnivore
Oh,
diet.
I've
Um,
heard of it. Oh my god, we need to talk about this in
oh my
other
gosh,
episode.
it's
The
amazing.
whole
It's
thing.
amazing. It's amazing.
I need to hear about it.
Oh,
Just
whatever you want. We can talk about it now, or we can
yeah,
sidebar it. It's up to
yeah.
you. It's
Okay,
up to you.
yeah. So okay, well, I get the idea of your now. See, now I understand more, even more, why you got upset about the ad because you live in the
I do live in
first
Tonga. Yeah,
world looking Thailand.
yes, yes. But I think honestly, I think all of Bangkok is really amazing. I think it's super modern. It's incredibly safe. It's so safe
Yeah,
compared
I
to
agree with you in terms of safety.
and I'm about to go home for a couple of weeks to see my mom, and I've been trying to get my Thai girlfriend to work on the visa for her to come, and she doesn't want to do it for a couple of reasons. One, she knows it's long, it's grueling, and I think she's afraid of the initial disappointment of not getting approved the first time you try to
Hmm.
get your the visa. But
Yeah.
unfortunately she watches the news, and the news only shows the really bad things that happen in America. So she's afraid
Hmm.
like that something horrible is going to happen. Um, and I have to reinsure her. I'm like, no, I live in basically Pleasantville in Chicagoland area. Nothing bad's gonna happen,
I
but
mean,
it'll definitely be a culture
we've
shock. Too.
seen videos of almost zombie like town. You know, that's what we've
Yeah,
seen on social
sure,
media. So
sure.
yeah, I don't blame her for feeling a little bit concerned.
No, it's absolutely legitimate. But there's other things too. Just the culture here and how people interact is much different. Last year when I was home, I would get up in the morning and I go for a long walk to get my coffee. And as I'm walking back, I would I would do a video chat with her. And I'm just
Yeah.
walking in suburban Chicagoland area, and it's like 8 a.m. And she's like, well, where's all the people? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, there's nobody around you. I'm like, I don't know. They're sleeping. And she just couldn't. She's like, are you safe? I'm like, yeah, of course I'm safe. There's nobody
Yeah.
here. Because even though I'm in the outskirts of the city, if you think of
Mm-hmm.
the outskirts of like any other major city in Thailand or throughout Asian countries, it's always busy. There's always
Yeah.
people around.
Yeah.
So even that was a culture shock. Just she's like, I don't understand. Where are all the people?
Right. That's true. That's true. Okay. We're used to all the busy things. That's our norm.
Yeah.
So for you to come here, like I when I went to my husband's town
Okay.
in north of Norway,
Okay.
where the size of Thailand and Norway is about the same. Norway might be a little bit bigger, but the
Hmm.
population is 5 million
Oh, that's
people,
small.
the whole country. But
That's
Thailand
small.
is like 70 million.
Right.
So you can see the space that we have when we walk around. It was
Sure.
astonishing, and it was so quiet. I could hear myself thinking.
Yes.
It was so quiet, and yeah. So and also
Did you
on
like
TV,
it?
I love Norway. I always wanted to move to Norway, but my husband loves Thailand, so we're
Right.
still here. We're still here. And okay, so that's your perspective now.
Mhm.
But people who are watching, you need to know that he lives in Tonglo area, right?
I do. I do.
so so we see where he's coming from. But
Right.
also, um, you asked me before we came in here, like my perspective about Thailand as a local. Like, I mean, first, maybe I don't have perspective, because I live here. I was born here. But the only perspective I can have is my experience of living in the US. I've lived in Oregon as an
Oh,
exchange
you
student
did.
for a year. Yes.
Did you like it? What'd you
Um,
think?
I was so young. I was 15 and
Okay.
first time away from home. I think I spent the first 3 months getting
That's a
homesick.
that's a big deal at that age. That's a really big
Yeah.
deal.
I
Uh-huh.
think the first 3 months I was getting homesick, and the rest I was just with my little group of friends, being all awkward in the
Yeah.
cafeteria and just. But I think it was a great experience for me growing up. Looking back, I
Right.
learned to be be like taking care of myself.
Sure.
Okay. So that's the perspective I have. I've lived a year in England and a year in Australia.
Fun.
Yes.
Which one do you like better? What'd you like better, Australia or London?
I feel in a way I feel like England and Thailand is this very similar
Really?
sense of, yeah. I just feel like England and Thailand, I'm not sure it's the monarchy system or whatever, but
Okay.
there's a sense of similarity when I walk around and I talk to people. Of course the English humor is much different from Thai humor.
Yes.
But I think okay, let's do this. If I Where I want to live, I would say either Australia or England, because I'm coming from being in Hermiston, Oregon,
Right.
next to Tri-City, not even the capital of Oregon. If I
Sure.
mention Oregon for you, what do you think of? What's the image that come up?
Very small town, suburban.
Yeah,
A lot of strip malls.
that's it. That's
Slow,
it.
slow pace.
Right. So you could see why I would
Sure.
prefer maybe Melbourne
Yeah,
over
of
a
course.
small town in Oregon. And but I think my sense of humor is a lot closer to the British.
Excellent.
And I just feel like Americans are bubbly.
What do you mean? I'm never like
Bubbly.
that.
I think maybe because I have memories of my high school years, everyone was bubbly. And Australia, what I get is that people are kind. Like they like. I remember meeting an American or Canadian, and he called. Oh yeah, he was American, and he called Australia Disneyland.
Oh, really?
because he just feel like everyone is like cartoon, like so nice and
Right.
yeah. So that's my memory of it. So when I was away for these 3 4 years and all, including Norway, maybe 5 6 years that I'm away from Thailand, looking
Yeah.
back in, I just feel like, to me personally, it's
Okay.
easy to be lazy in Thailand because you have everything.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. It's very dangerous. It's very,
Yeah,
very dangerous. Everything
yeah,
is so convenient.
yeah.
So convenient. You don't need to
You
leave your condo.
right, right.
It's
So
dangerous.
that's my perspective. Like because I'm in Thailand, I'm so like relaxing, easy. Like I don't know. I feel like I'm more. I do more when I'm not in Thailand.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah,
Sure. Well,
yeah.
I think a part of it has to do with the convenience, but also some days, I don't know about you. I mean, you're native. The humidity is tough.
Oh
It's
yeah.
really tough. It's tough to
It
really,
must
it's tough
affect
to
you
do
more
this.
than me for sure. Yeah, because you're
You know,
not
I,
coming from this weather.
I'm used to it, but my body doesn't, my body doesn't let me know that I'm used to it because I perspire and sweat a lot. And I've always been, even when I do any type of sports, I always sweat a lot. So just walking around, I get very sweaty, and people look at me like,
Mm,
"Are you okay? Do you need a doctor? Should we?" And I'm like,
yeah.
"No, I'm great. This is amazing." I wish I didn't perspire as much, sweat as much, because a lot of Thais don't. My girlfriend barely ever sweats, but she doesn't like to go out during the day, like walk around and do a lot of stuff in the heat. So I think that
Mm,
makes a lot of people like, I'm just gonna hide in my condo because there's,
yeah.
the air con is great and everything like that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So yeah, I'm sure the weather. My husband, he would like go out for a coffee and come home. He's Norwegian, -30 type of person. He'd come home
Yeah.
and take a nap right away. Like, it just drains him out, the heat and the humid. Yeah,
Sure. Sure.
right.
I used to be a big nap guy, but we could talk about it later. Since I've been on
Yeah.
the carnivore diet, I've napped 4 times in 7 months. That's it. That's it. I have so much
I'm
more energy.
so interested. The first time I heard about carnivore diet was on Jordan Peterson's podcast.
Yes. Yeah.
He was on it, and his daughter Michaela was on it, and I was like, how could people just have meat? I mean, I have meat for one meal and I cannot go to the toilet the next 2 days. Like it's just clocking me. And
it's
so
dedication. It's
yeah,
dedication. And you have to
yeah,
have a good support system around you because you're very
yeah.
limited of where you can go out to eat for dinner and stuff like that. My girlfriend is
Right.
so understanding. So understanding. Like, we still go out for dinners and we go to different restaurants in the city. One of our favorite things is, I think if I went out to eat every day in Bangkok, it would take me 12 years to
Mm,
experience every single restaurant here. There's just so much diversity, so many restaurants.
mm.
And out of, and she never gives me, the only time we've ever had a disagreement where I kind of are you kidding me? Or about my diet was, one of my favorite things that I had to give up was rice, not
Yeah.
sticky rice and fried rice and everything like that. And so it's been tough. And a couple weeks ago, my girlfriend's like, I think I want to get a rice cooker for the house. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, no, you can't do that. Are you trying to kill
We
me?
need to save this for another episode, this
Yeah, sure.
carnivore diet thing.
Sure.
But from what
Sure.
I'm hearing, you have a fantastic girlfriend, because if my husband just wanna have just meat his whole entire year, we'd have problems. So you have a great girlfriend there.
I'm very, very lucky.
Okay.
I'm very
Right.
lucky.
Okay. So I think that hopefully our viewers got a better get to know you a little bit better and get to know where I'm coming from, where you're coming from. You are an American coming from Chicago, here in Thailand, almost 6 years now,
Yep.
and always living in Thong Lo area. I need to emphasize that. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I know.
And me as a Thai, not I grew up in Korat. My hometown is Korat, a province
Okay.
in northeastern of Thailand. And I really moved into Bangkok when I was 18.
Mm.
And then I've been living here since. But some bits and pieces, some years I was abroad.
Okay.
and I lived almost 3 years in Norway, speaking a
Okay.
little bit of Norwegian. So here's our background. So from now on, when we have more conversation, you know where we're coming from, right? So
Right.
when you see Chris getting all upset about Thailand being a little bit dusty, that's
That's right.
because he's in Dong Lo,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Okay, fantastic. First, I was going to invite my friend. I'm going to show you this because I
Sure.
told you that my friend's IKEA glass exploded
Okay.
yesterday morning in her kitchen, and I was like, how's
Oh,
that possible? And I'm gonna show you the photo because she said, have you heard about, you know, like on TikTok and things, people talk about their IKEA glass exploded? And it's like, no, I've
uh,
never heard of it. And she said, well, mine just exploded this morning. And first I thought it was the thermal glass because
yeah.
there might maybe gas or something, I don't know,
Right.
to make it explode. It's just pure glass. It's just one glass.
Is it tempered glass or traditional glass?
I'm gonna show you right now what it
Okay.
looks like. It's so strange. Okay, let me get that up. Right. Okay, present. Hi. Oh, see?
Hang on. Still loading.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh. Oh, wow.
It's just a
Yeah.
simple
Yeah.
cup of glass.
Wow. I've
And
never heard of that happening.
well, it is something that people are talking about now. And she said, you know, she heard about it online, but she never thought it would happen to her. But it just did yesterday. Exploded in
Wow.
her kitchen. So I have a friend who is a material scientist
Okay.
who I thought was going to invite to come into our show today, but he's not ready today. So we might do
Gotcha.
that the next time. But thank you
Yeah. I
so
would
much.
love
It
it.
was a lot of fun, Chris.
Thank you. I had so much fun.
Hopefully we can do this again.
Absolutely. Just let me know.
All right.
Absolutely.
Thank
I had a
you.
blast. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks so much, everybody.
everyone watching live. Bye.
Bye.